Welcome back to the Stockwell Eldridge Show on 1280 Patriot at 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. Thanks for listening. We've got a lot of great information today. I'm learning a ton. I'm awestruck. It's hard to
there's four,
take it all in.
Actually,
I'm going to have to watch it on YouTube.
Five guys in here for you.
That's right, five guys. Yes, I'm the only girl. That's rare. That never happens. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, I'm Dawn Eldridge with RE/MAX Results.
Jason Stockwell, RE/MAX Results.
And we've got Don Doty here with Home Place Inspections.
Yes.
We've also got Thomas Jusela with Home Finance of America. It's a tongue twister. Yeah. And I always want to call it the Blackstone Group. So
yes,
there we
Blackstone
go.
Group. Yes. Very well known.
And then we've got Nate Nelson with Messerly and Kramer. I do know that one really well. So.
I know that one as well.
All right, so let's carry on with our great topic here.
So we've talked about a ton of things that can hopefully help you, and then the bottom line is that I want to make sure you're aware. If you or someone you know hears some of this stuff and you hear Nate Nelson talking about things, or you hear Don talking about things, or Justin talking about things, or us, and you're like, wow, that...
Did I
Thomas.
Name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Thomas. Justin.
And don't confuse Don with Dawn.
Yeah, we've got a complicated. Yeah, and this is on YouTube, so check us out on YouTube. But the point I was going to make was, if all this, you hear this forward and reverse thing that Nate's talking about, and you hear about all this investment things in 10 properties and all that, and you're like, oh, that's only for this elite group that is able to do all this. I'm just a simple investor that's doing one or two on my own, or I want to do one or two on my own. The whole point of this is that it sounds complicated, but you should be doing it. We talked on break about the 1031 situation and how it's so brutal, the taxes on you when you do a flip. So many people want to flip. You hear these commercials on the radio. I hear one going on all the time now. I think he's an ex-football player, and he keeps saying, I'm looking for a handful of people in the Twin Cities. But he runs the commercial 50 times a day for a month. Is he really looking for a handful? I think he's looking for 100 handfuls of people to pay a certain amount of money to him so that he can teach them about this program. But they talk about the flipping and how that is so, and everybody sees it and they show these checks. Oh my gosh, I did this flip, and there's a check for $30,000, right? And everybody's like, oh my gosh, my cousin only makes $35,000 a year, and I can make that in one property or something like that. So what you have to consider with that is that the tax burden on that is brutal. So that you might as well take and just half that on the taxes. So when you get to a point that 1031 is very, very valuable to you, and will be very, very valuable to you. But,
well, then call and ask questions. You can call Thomas, you can call Nate, and they'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And it's just a friendly conversation, doesn't commit you to anything. It's simple to do.
There's a few things I wanted to touch base on too, and ask you guys, our panel of experts here, about your thoughts on this. Number one is investment. So Don Doty alluded to earlier. Don Doty stated that buying a home is better than the stock market, right? So that's from an investment standpoint.
Yes.
We have it on tape, actually, Don. So we're.
Yes, it's true.
I like it.
I can vouch for it.
Don, you are not under oath, though.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, yes.
The stock market was brutal. I mean, this month, July, is great. It's great. But what was bad is, about 4 months ago? It was down about, 20%. I'm still down 20%,
really?
Even though it was great in July.
It's kind of like that. It's it's like Valley Fair. The roller coaster. You love the excitement, and then the downfall, and then the going up, and then you're also. It's like Valley Fair or some other thing that you may be thinking, well, if I do this, if I keep going, I'm going to catch it on a high. But it doesn't quite get you back to square, so you want to stay in it. But then it goes down again, and then it'll go up a little bit. It's a teaser, right? It's teasing you all the time, like to stay in, or put more in, or something like that, right?
Well, here's what's difficult. If you're in the stock market, as I am, and most of you all are,
reluctantly, but yeah.
you just see a piece of paper. If you own real estate, you can actually drive by it and look at something.
Yeah, and have a key
And it's
for
usually
it.
pretty.
Yeah, and you get a key
hopefully.
and you get to mow the lawn and you get some money, hopefully, for rent. It's just a better deal.
It's many smart investors and smart people that talk about real estate say that it's not a get-rich-quick proposition. That's why these radio infomercials that I hear sometimes frustrate me, because the perception they're giving is that it is a get-rich-quick model, and it's actually not. It's a long term. We're talking 5, 10. Actually, the longer term you have, the better it is for you. It's not like a boom turnaround, and granted, there's always exceptions. There's always certain things that can happen that, yes, you can get a profit on one, but that you're working hard to find that opportunity, you're working hard to fix the opportunity, you're working hard to sell the opportunity.
It's a full-time job,
Yes.
It really is a full-time commitment.
If you're doing it right, if you're doing it as a overall, like, I'm going to make a ton of wealth in this, you got to be in it all the time. If you want it as an investment passive, you can do that as well part-time, but it's not something you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to retire because I went to this seminar and I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to retire off of these 3 houses or something like that. That's not typically
Don and Jason, what are you seeing from being able to find handy persons to come in and do contracting work for you right now? I'm not thinking back too long ago where it was almost impossible to get someone within the same calendar month to come to your house. And then I think right around 2009, 2010, prices fell, availability increased again.
Yes.
What are you seeing now?
I think it's hard to find contractors, and especially good contractors, that can come out. And a lot of them, what I'm seeing, we're having trouble taking small jobs.
Yeah.
So if there's
3
a little
weeks.
hole in the wall, they just won't even take it.
3 weeks.
Which is interesting.
That comes down to relationships, though. So a lot of the people that I work with or that we work with as sellers or buyers or remodelers, we will let them into our network so they can get some access to some of the people that we have that are readily available, that will jump when we ask, because they've done work with us in those times that you're talking about when they were desperate and there was work available at that time, so they're still loyal to. It's all about loyalty.
Absolutely. Hands down. My handy guy I've had for like 10 years, but his whole circle now is, other real estate agents that just keep him busy. And, if you need something, he's there to quick drop his hat and help you out. So if you ever find a good handyman, never let them go.
Well, I was a custom builder for about 25 years back in the 70s and 80s. I started my other company back then. And it was hard to find good help then.
Yep.
So I guess what you do is just either do it yourself or
That's not an option for everybody.
you're almost going to have to.
And it might be worse.
You're going to have to develop.
You don't have any calluses?
I have no calluses on my hands.
Develop a relationship with a handyman or something.
Or reach out to Don, myself, Thomas, or
someone that would have one.
Yeah. We'll have people that can help out and give bids. We have a lot of out-of-state clients now that are finally reaching out to sell their property that they've been renting for the last 3 or 4 years. And what they want is a full-service situation where, we have clients that are in Fargo, we have clients that are in Kansas City, California, and they do not want to make a special trip back to work on the property, or they aren't able to. So they want someone that knows and says, hey, who can come in and get this whole thing done, landscaped? Who can get the carpet out, get the hardwood floors done, and get all those things done? And that's what we're able to do for them, and they're very grateful and happy. And then drive by and check on the property and just make sure that everything's okay. I mean, that's the stuff that we would be doing for you. Should you have an out-of-state property to help out with, but.
Jason, if you invite me back someday.
Yes, and Dawn.
I'm going to look up Forbes 500, and I'm going to bring you back the richest people in the world. And I think like 25% are from real estate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I just read this article here, and I agree with you. I think real estate is one of the best things ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's one of the best things ever because I'm in the industry, but it can also be one of the biggest headaches ever from the standpoint of all the stuff you're doing. But you got to work, right? Where do you got to work? Somewhere. Are you going to work for someone else, or are you going to work for yourself? But gold. The price of gold has increased 25% year to date from $1,060 per ounce at the close of 2015 on December 31st to $1,326 per ounce as of July 15th. 25% increase in gold. When we come back, I want to ask anybody here if they, not to share all your investments, but what is your opinion of gold as a backup plan if you're kind of down on the stock market? We'll be back soon. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with RE/MAX Results.
Thanks to our expert panel. Check us out on YouTube or on Facebook under the Stockwell Eldridge Show.